I've come to the conclusion that AI is here. It's going to be with us. But how do we prepare to use it to our benefit? What opportunities are within that technology? See, I'm feeling giddy. I'm super excited. I mean, I never expected this. So when I was called and said, "You've won the LG Guggenheim Award," I was ecstatic. Hi, my name is Stephanie Dinkins. I am a transmedia artist. And really, I think I'm a photographer who is now working in technologies that mimic photography in certain ways. If you start to get really curious about it and start pulling it apart, playing with it, and that's really what I did. I'm just a person who plays in the field of AI in ways I don't really know what I'm doing, but then try to learn. So I find that the tech leads me into a place where I get to ask questions slightly differently. And then art as a container just makes almost any question allowable. That's what is fascinating to me. So I'm really trying to think through ideas and learn about the systems around us and how they impact communities, particularly Black communities and communities of color. The idea of asking a community, what does AI need from you? A community that might not have been thinking about AI, posing that question becomes a real nice space of dialogue. And then the idea of dialogue always leads to new ideas and different solutions than I ever would have come up with.
I'm Noam Segal, and I'm here at Stony Brook University. I'm the LG Electronics Associate Curator at the Guggenheim. The LG Guggenheim Initiative supports the most groundbreaking artists working in technology today, like Stephanie Dinkins.
I'm going to tell you you're in the Future Histories Lab, but as part of DISCO, which is a digital optimism group. This lab is pretty new. It's about 1.5 years old now. We are building it for people to come in to work with AI, to work with story, and I like those two things together. So I like this idea of setting up a space that allows for both AI and imagery that allows people to tell story come together and see what people can do in that vein. Not the only one is my solution to actually a question that people were asking me, because I'd done some work where I was talking to a robot, and then people would ask me, well, when are you going to make your own robot? And I would look at them like they were crazy because I clearly don't have the skills to make a robot. So I decided that the way I could start to make something that was akin to a robot, which is a chatbot, would be to concentrate on something I'm really interested in, right? So that's my family, and have these conversations where we laid out our lives in terms of how we grew up, what the similarities are, what the differences are, and what our hopes and dreams are. And put that into a chatbot and then see what it comes out. And it's important that I was trying to put that into a deep learning chatbot, and it is a thing that is doing its best to communicate the ethos of the family that I come from.
I am about broad engagement and attracting people to the AI space who might not be there otherwise.
Both say it aloud and when the words fail are something I would call a feedback loop, or trying to create a space where people can release the stuff that we've been accumulating and do it in a way that it gets collected and becomes its own cacophony. And it's like, what does it mean to just express in one way or another?
This specific work does create that because you're there and you're surrounded by other people's expressions, and you can live in this noise, and I would say noise because it's non-verbal, and there's something very soothing with this environment.
As artist, I've been welcomed into many different disciplines to sit at a table with top AI researchers, honestly, having conversation. Half the time I'm like, how did I get here? And half the time I'm like, well, it's really great that I'm here. However, that allows for deeper learning, and I feel like being an artist allows me entree to both of those, but then also not to keep it to myself, but to communicate it back out in some way, shape, or form. The LG Guggenheim Award will allow me to expand my practice into some spaces that I've been thinking about, it would be great to hire some folks so that we can do deeper research into the data and really get one of my projects, binary calculations, the back end of that rolling hard. We can get this done. We can get really good people working on it. And then we can, I'm always thinking about impact and really impact like some of all this AI crazy that we're seeing going on all around us. So I'm excited about that.